Deltarune Chapter 2 really set the stage for the rest of the game, with a more vibrant, expressive dark world, a new party member, and extended insight on the characters we've already come to love. It's certainly a step above from the game's introduction in Chapter 1. Of course, there's one thing in particular that Chapter 2 introduced, the Snowgrave route, and boy is it what most people think of when Chapter 2 is brought up. But it's obviously with good reason. With Chapters 3 and 4 having been out now for a couple of months, Snowgrave has been expanded far beyond what it initially was. With going to Noelle's house for a purported study group for their school projects, things ramp up far beyond just telling her to proceed. I've been hyperfixating on Undertale and Deltarune for a few months now, and Snowgrave has scratched a particular itch that I've grown for this kind of dark plotline. So, I wanted to go over the brilliance of the message of Snowgrave, even if it's something everyone and their mother have probably already done at this point. Snowgrave's main focus is Chris's shy but kind neighbor and classmate, Noelle Holiday. She first enters your party after narrowly avoiding being spotted by Queen and joins the lone Chris after the debacle is over. Now, you can either go ahead and progress like a sane person, or you can choose to traumatize the dear! Right. Well, traumatizing poor Noelle is the focus of this whole video, so we're not going to be sane people today. Instead, we're going to purposely backtrack through where we just went to unleash an unholy blizzard upon them all. Now, joking aside, this is where things get serious. Now, we start to see many parallels between this and Undertale's genocide route. It's not just killing everything you see, you have to go out of your way to seek every possible encounter, but this time it's different. It's much, much different. We all know at this point that the soul in both Undertale and Deltarune is meant to represent our existence as the player within the game's universe. What you do with that power is, of course, up to you as the player. While Undertale is much more vague with what the Red Soul's intrinsic trait is, Deltarune expands upon it tenfold with the demonstration of the soul inside Chris. This might be a redundant point to go over, but I think it's really important to understanding the depth and genius of Snowgrave and what its message is. To analyze this a bit more, let's look at the properties of the soul in Undertale first. It's pretty much only a vessel through which you can control Frisk, allowing you to dodge attacks to avoid getting hurt and simply just being Frisk's life force. They don't really have much against their soul, they kind of just exist with it. The most expression in cutscenes we see from them is in Geno, when they interrupt Papyrus's puzzles and advance a monster kid in Waterfall. With this in mind, let's apply this to Deltarune. Chris shows plenty of expression with their soul, even outside of Snowgrave. Chris, however, is much older than Frisk. One of the most important factors in Chris having the Red Soul is the fact that they know how to manage it. They can straight up rip it out of their damn chest to be able to be themselves for once from us parading their body around as if it was our own. They actively work against us to keep information from us, being a very present threat to our goal amongst the heroes of light. Unless, of course, we choose the Snowgrave route. In this case, we're really going against Chris's ideals and goals. Hell, they fucking have a very valid crash ad after we stab Noelle with a thorn in Chapter 4 Snowgrave route. But in the end, they have to keep us in them. For whatever reason, they need us in Dark Worlds. Whether it's just to steal fountains or some other mysterious reason we aren't privy to yet, they're obligated to keep us. Why is this all relevant, you ask? Because it contrasts the severity of our effect on controlling the characters within this universe. In Undertale, Frisk is very unexpressive, tailored to just go along with whatever you make them do, having no ability to fight back against the soul because of their young age. At least that's what I believe. They absorb whatever path they end up being set down, whether it's befriending all of the monsters they need or mercilessly wiping them all out. They're just very easily impressionable and easy to manipulate. Because as you kill more monsters, the more they also gain love, distancing themselves further from the act of murder. Many people blame Kara's ever-growing presence throughout Geno as the reason they finished the route. Others acknowledge that it is really just you, the player, making Frisk do all of these terrible things. But in the end, you have to ask yourself, it wasn't so bad, was it? If Frisk ends up becoming just as distant from it as you, isn't that a good enough justification? Isn't it better that they adapt since they can't protest anyways? So isn't it a good thing? Isn't it a good thing that Chris can fight back against your antics in this case? But, can they really? They stop us from various things, but sometimes we're just too strong. They try to quiet Noelle from giving us too much information, but in the end, we end up preventing them from protecting her. Not only are we manipulating and controlling someone to the point of violence and fear, we're also actively destroying Chris's life from making them do all of this. Noelle isn't the only victim here. Everything here makes it abundantly clear that all of this is exclusively our doing. We can't run away from it anymore, can we? We can't run away from the psychology of it all. We're actively traumatizing two teenagers who used to have some semblance of friendship, all in the name of getting stronger. Do you really want to get stronger this way? But after all, she's more independent, isn't she? You're making her stronger.
Yes, she's getting stronger, isn't she? You saw how she's changed. She's more independent. She's solving things by herself, taking things for herself, defeating enemies by herself. Isn't it a good thing? That right there is why all of this ties itself together in a perfect knot. Through your relentless manipulation and persistence, she's starting to grow uncertain about the morality of what she's doing. You make her doubt whether what's happening is truly benefiting her. After all, she has grown more assertive. If she just listens to what you say, then surely she'll go stronger. Right?
Snowgrave? I don't know that spell. I'm telling you, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm telling you, stop. I don't know what you're talking about. Fine, you want to see what happens so bad. What happens when I cast a spell I don't know? What happened? There was so much snow I couldn't see anything. I don't feel so good. I think I'm going to go home.
It's exactly what's so morbidly brilliant about the Snowgrave route. You're roping Noelle into a toxic codependency with who she thinks is Chris, rationalizing everything in her head that it's for the sake of making her stronger, the sake of helping her become more independent. The venomous allure of being able to get a taste of being bold and confident is too tempting for even her to resist. Yet again, would that not be so bad? But it's harder to try and justify these actions. You can never be more aware of the psychological effect you're having on Noelle, whether you like it or not. You've done this. You're the one who made her have those thoughts. That's right. There's no use denying it. Even if she's slowly being lured into depending upon your command to become stronger, she still developed a dark sense of survival. It's kill or be killed, right? She's adapting just as much to have the same mentality of being cutthroat and unforgiving, all in the name of becoming stronger.
I'll finish, Chris. Should we find some more enemies? Chris, that looks like another enemy. Should I freeze them? To be honest, I've kind of been waiting for a chance for us to be alone all day. Chris? Chris, your voice, there's no way I heard my thoughts. You're lying. You're lying.
Equip.
You've come this far. There's no turning back now. Equip the thorn ring on Noelle, won't you? Don't be scared. You did this to yourself. Go on. You're doing this for her sake.
Chris? Chris, what is that?
Proceed.
Chris, that's not the thorn, is it? That is not the thorn ring, is it?
Proceed.
Chris, come on, you still. What about last night? What about.
Last night meant nothing.
Didn't you want to protect me?
Proceed.
Why can't I move? Why can't I look away? Noelle, do something.
There's nothing you can do.
Equip.
Chris, I really think I think I need to, gosh, I think I have to.
Equip.
Chris.
Just because you were curious. Just because you had to see what happens. You've molded her into just what you wanted her to be, didn't you?
Thank you. You.
And she's thankful. It's not like it matters, though. In the end, it's just a video game. Right? Well, the answer is yes. In the end, it is a video game. But I wouldn't call it just a video game. While it's pretty obvious from all of this, the meanings cut deeper from the surface of simply, this is bad, don't do this. All of these questions, all of the rationalizations, they're all very real things that some people go through. The point of this isn't just to showcase how terrible people can be, but it puts on display just how far some people will go. To call back to something Sand says in his battle at the end of Undertale's genocide route, some people are just a bit too determined. Just because they see a way to proceed
just because they see that they can. It means they have to. Even against all odds, with every hindrance, they still persist, even if there's absolutely no benefit to doing so whatsoever. Chris desperately tries to stop us. They do not want any of this to happen to Noelle. And yet, just because it's something we can do, the possibility that the game presents to us to choose, we must see what happens. It's just as Flowey said. At some point, these characters become toys to play with. Simple statistics to our entertainment to see what they say, they'll do, how they will act. It becomes a game to us, just as it did to Flowey. Of course, this doesn't really have any consequences. This is a game. They're all just numbers on a screen, code strung together to develop a genius source of entertainment for us. But what if it wasn't a game? What if it transcended the screen into real life? That's the true meaning of it all. Because what if it wasn't fictional? What if you got so curious that you just had to see what happened if you said a certain thing, did something a certain way? I don't think you'd like the outcome as much if it was executed in real life. Unless, of course, you are that type of person, and in that case, you're exactly what the whole message of Snowgrave is warning against. Curiosity killed the cat, after all. So yeah, that's what all of this means, isn't it? As long as you're restricted to the confines of a fictional reality, you can effectively do anything any game allows you to do. But the real impact comes when it's enveloped in a powerful message for real life. Just because you can, doesn't mean you have to. Well, yeah, that's all I have to say on Deltarune's Snowgrave route. I'm just some random person on the internet, but this was my first time trying to make an in-depth video essay on something I'm insanely passionate about. So to whoever might see this, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night.